Good afternoon. Everybody hear me okay? All right. So, got to ask real quick, Seahawks or Patriots? Who's pulling for the Seahawks? Oh, come on. Weak. Patriots? Who doesn't care? Yeah. Uh, I'll watch the game, but as many of you know, I'm a long term tortured Dallas Cowboy fan. So there's never any threat of my team being at the game, but I'll watch it for the commercials. If there's anybody I haven't met in this room and everybody looks pretty familiar, my name's Damon. I'm the executive director here of 9 years. So if I haven't met you, hello, and thank you for coming today during this warming trend we're having outside. Um, going to start the meeting here with a little bit of what we call a mission moment. Everybody knows we're interviewing for director of plant ops, basically the person who will head up our maintenance, housekeeping, and laundry departments here. Critical team member, key hire for us. And I had an interview this morning, and the gentleman works with a competitor in our market here. And we were talking and everything, and I asked him, I said, so, one of the first questions you always ask, so why Wesleyan Grand? What has you interested in us? And he had done his homework on the company and said some nice things about the company. But he said, as far as Wesleyan Grand specifically, he goes, he said, what really draws me is I keep hearing over and over again how at Wesleyan Grand people really matter. And I said, that's a really nice thing to hear. I go, can you expand on that? And he said, well, when you come in and go through here, you're received with a warm smile by not only the residents, but the team members working here. And he said, people generally seem to care about each other. And then he went on to say, where he works, they have team members there that know our team members here. And a lot of what he heard from our team members here just kind of reinforced those comments that the culture here is one of caring and support. We're far from perfect, but we're always striving to improve. We retain a very high percentage of our team members, which in a transient industry like healthcare is very rare. And then you heard plenty of, and they just got the darn nicest people that live there that you've ever seen. So, as an executive director, I thought that was really, really, really neat. Communication and relationships, personal connections, and everything's as important as anything we do here. And to hear someone working in a competitor who's hearing this from residents, from team members, where he's at now, I thought that was really cool. So feel good about that. We hear that quite often, but hearing that this morning in the interview just made my morning. So I thought you'd enjoy hearing that. His 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 location of work currently, the perception of Wesleyan Grand. It's really nice. We've got quite a few things to cover today. We're going to go in a little bit different order than we usually do. The first thing, I have been asked by our resident council chairman, the Honorable Ben Campney, to invite the resident council representatives to please stand for a moment. So everybody here, they're starting to pop up. All right. I mean, take a good look at them. The resident council plays such a critical role here. Strong liaison for the residents, and you know, don't be shy about visiting with your resident council representative about any questions and needs, and that relationship with leadership here in the resident council is very, very valuable. And the communication is really critical. And the more feedback we have going back and forth with our residents and the resident council, and residents directly with leadership, resident council with leadership, the better. So we have a really great group of volunteers on our resident council. And once in a while, we'll have them stand up just so everybody knows who they are, because they bring invaluable feedback to our meetings, and further enhance our opportunities to improve, like we're always striving to do. The second thing we're going to do, I want to invite Mr. Simonton up here for a moment. And he's going to do a quick educational piece on our battery management, disposal management.
So anyway, I'm the guy who is behind. So anyway, I'm the guy who's behind the battery recycling that you guys have been a part of and been doing a really good job of. This is a 5-gallon bucket, and it's over half full in 2 months. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you, great job on that. Thank you very much. The guys out in the out in Bondurant in the hazardous waste place love you. We can also take small electronic devices. I can take those. They go in those little black boxes that are in your trash room. Um, so you're all familiar with that. I can take light bulbs. I can take the LED light bulbs, and they really want to get these guys because these guys have a little bit of mercury in them, and mercury is terrible stuff. Even though in the 8th grade science we all rolled it around in our hands, right? Printers, ink cartridges from printers. I can take those, couple different kinds, small ones. You can come up later and take a look. My real reason to want to talk to you today is we've got all kinds of disposable batteries here that we're going to recycle. But how many people know that there are rechargeable batteries? All right, so there are quite a few people, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about rechargeable batteries. They're absolutely dependable now. It's not like the old days when they wouldn't hold a charge and then they wouldn't take a charge. And they can be recycled as many as 1,000 times. So instead of using one of these, you can have a rechargeable one that will replace 1,000 of these. Okay? So I'll be up here after the meeting, and I'm happy to talk about rechargeable batteries. If you're not familiar with them, they're absolutely a good deal. They're a little more to buy in the beginning, but they'll save you a fortune in the long run. So anyway, thank you for your time, and thank you, Damon.
Thank you. Yes, Paul. I knew there was some risk in letting him speak today, but all in all, pretty good. Thank you for that information. Before we get into our normal agenda, I've got a very exciting announcement to make. As of course, all of you heard last year, our long term of roughly 30 years CEO, Rob Kretzinger, is retiring. He'll be with us until June 1st, and then he'll go into a special advisory role. But with Rob retiring, they've been doing a search for the next CEO. And happy to announce, there was an announcement this morning that our new CEO, effective June 1st, is Allison Pendroy. Now, some of you might recall Allison Pendroy is our Chief Operating Officer. She actually came out here and spoke. I'm not sure how long ago it was, guys, maybe 5-6 months ago. But she was out here and watched our meeting and spoke with everybody. She'll be coming out. First off, we're very excited about this announcement. She's going to do a very wonderful job. The board of directors handled the search and everything. And sounds like Allison just really hit a home run in this process. And the board was really excited and comfortable and confident and naming her to lead us for the into the future. So that's a really good feeling, and I think as she comes out here and gets to know you a little better over the coming months and everything, you'll really enjoy her. She's very nice and has a lot of positive energy about what we do and where we're going. Great visionary. Um, we're blessed to have her. So that's very exciting. Stay tuned for more to come, including visits from Allison and Rob before Rob is done. And you guys will still see Rob out here quite a bit. He'll be a special advisor, but he tends to drop in out here at WAG. A lot of you see him out here, so I'm sure we'll still see him after that. So again, Allison Pendroy, our new CEO, effective June 1st. And everybody, I think you're going to be really, really happy with where Allison takes us as our leader. Now, with that said, I want to turn it over. We have a special guest from our home and community-based services partners with Wesley Life, and that's Sadie Orr, our liaison / account executive.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sadie, and I work, like Damon said, at Wesley Life at Home. My job is to provide education and answer any questions that you guys have about home and community-based services. That might be services such as home health, which is physical therapy, occupational, nursing, speech therapy. We also have in-home services, which is more of that private pay home care. We have palliative care, hospice. We also have some Meals on Wheels. Of course, we have the Adult Day Center here as well. So my job is to educate and answer any questions that the residents here, any family members here have on our services. Our goal is to keep all of the residents in their own home in your apartments here. So anything that we can do to provide you with that extra service, I know some of you have probably used those services. So again, anything that we can do, I'm not going to speak too much to the services unless there's specific questions. Christy Peterson and I are going to go over to Sante after this. We'll go in the middle, but after this to answer any questions and also sign anyone up for in-home services if you would like to just be signed up in case you were to need that service. What Christy and I do a lot of times is we will have the paperwork completed so that if you needed that on a whim, then we're not trying to rush to get the paperwork done, and it makes it a little bit easier so that we can just work on finding a caregiver quicker, so that there's not a delay in those services for you. That is more for the private pay home care. Now, if we're looking at, the home health, palliative, any sort of hospice services, we're working on the back end with your provider on that, but that paperwork is not needed to be done on that end. What we're going to do today is do the paperwork for the in-home services if anyone needs it, just to have on hand in case you were to need it, just to have it signed up. So any questions? I don't want to take too much time here. Perfect. Oh, yes. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Okay, next we have Director of Dining Services, Sam Kolner, with some clean jokes and his update.
Good afternoon, everyone. A man was driving down a country road and he saw a chicken with 3 legs running alongside his car. He was going 60 miles an hour. Intrigued, he sped up to 70 miles an hour and then 80, but the chicken passed him and turned into a farm. The man followed the chicken into the farm and he found the farmer. He said, "I just saw a chicken with 3 legs running here. How did that happen?" And the farmer said, "Well, it's me, my wife, and my son. We all love drumsticks, and we were tired of fighting over them, so I bred 3-legged chicken." And the man said, "That's amazing. How do they taste?" And the farmer sighed and said, "I don't know. I haven't been able to catch one yet." I, I was also handed one as I came in today, so I'll share with you. Why shouldn't you marry a calendar? Because its days are numbered. Ha. All right. Thank you, Paul. Yeah. Speaking of chicken, in about a week, we'll be getting the vast majority of our meat from Guthrie County Meats. I know those of you who came to our survey feedback when I was talking about dining, I mentioned that this was on the horizon. Well, it's basically here. So we'll be getting the majority of our meats, all the beef, pork, most of the chicken from right here in the Des Moines area from Guthrie County Meat Locker. So that's exciting. They're processed minimally. Everything is sourced. If it's not from Iowa, it's from very close to it. So we're excited about getting those. Let's see, new menus. Insante will be out this month. I'll put it on Uniguest and Facebook. So if you don't have Facebook, you can check Uniguest, and it'll be right there in the dining information. Let's see, there's new grab-and-go items, breakfast sandwiches. There's a sign over in the grocery area that says gluten-free, and those two shelves, there's gluten-free pasta, bread, pretzels, breakfast bars, popcorn, things that are specifically gluten-free for those of you who are looking for those items. Then we have some Greek yogurt, hard-boiled eggs, some fresh fruit, just some different healthier items in the grab-and-go, so check those out. Other than that, I think that's my update for this month. Does anybody have anything for me? All right, thank you, everybody. Ryan's next.
Good afternoon, everyone. Boy, we're quiet today. So for those that don't know me, my name is Ryan Amundsen. I'm the Director of Wellbeing here. Wanted to touch on several things coming up in February and March, but I wanted to keep tradition alive and start by talking about the pool. So some of you may have noticed in the treadmill pool, we're missing a couple tiles at the bottom. There's no issue or safety concern there, but I am bringing this up to let you know if you are an avid user of that treadmill pool, sometime in the next couple weeks, we will need to drain that down, and it'll be a 3 to 4 day process to make sure that we get new tiles down and make sure that they are secure before filling it back up. So just wanted to get that on your radar. I'll be coordinating with our maintenance team as to when they can help with the actual putting those tiles back down. But otherwise, knock on wood, everything's working great. We're just going to fix that tile issue there. So also, kind of moving along here in February, we have the Olympic season starting up. We're going to have several things throughout the month. Anytime the auditorium's open, I plan on having the Olympic Games streaming. But on February 11th, the wellness team is going to be doing a Olympics activity, and I'm not going to spoil the event yet, but there will be a flyer coming out to the elevators and on Uniguest here very soon. But we'll be doing that up in the fitness center, and we'll be doing an active game with any residents that want to participate in that. So Megan and Emma are spearheading that one, and I'll be helping them out a little bit. So if you have questions once that flyer comes out, please come find us. We'd love to have as many people there for this Olympic game as possible. So we will have some other things throughout the month, Olympic themed. We'll have snack carts rolling around for both team members and residents. We have all sorts of stuff coming up for that. In February, we have a big event that we're really excited to bring up. We're partnering with Amy and the sales and marketing team, but we are hosting a murder mystery dinner party here in the auditorium on February 19th. We have a flyer with sign-up instructions coming up here, but we'll need RSVPs for this for sure. It was a packed house last time we did this for our community members. Now we're wanting to do it with residents here. So if you're interested in participating in this murder mystery dinner night on February 19th, please let Amy know so we can get an accurate RSVP list. But we want to pack the house for that event here. It'll be from 4:30 to 7:30. Okay? So official flyer will be hitting your mailboxes here soon, but we'll want as many people to sign up for that as possible, okay? Next thing in February, a lot of you saw them on the way in and grabbed them. But we have little vision boards for any resident that is interested in participating. I did this with our team members, and now I want to extend it to our residents. And the goal behind this is not only just to get what your goals and dreams are for 2026, but we will then collaborate with the team members that filled them out, and we'll have a day where we will hang them up together in the Catalyst room. So that way we can have our goals all listed. It can be anonymous, or if you really want us to bug you about your goals, put your name right on it, okay? So any questions about that, feel free to flag me down after the meeting, but those vision boards are in the back of the room. If we run out, I will make more copies right away, okay? Couple things coming up in March that I want to make sure I touch on. The first one, I'm really excited about this partnership. There's a flyer in the back of the room with a QR code or a call wiki tag on it. But we are partnering with Drake University to host an intergenerational luncheon where we're going to have college students, residents, a few team members, all having lunch together and discussing various topics, shared experiences, things like that. So that'll be from 12:30 to 1:45 on March 26th. This is another one we will need to have you register for. There is a QR code you can scan. You can talk to Wiki about getting registered, or if you need help with that QR code, just let me know and I can kind of guide you through those steps to get you registered. Okay, so that's a cool partnership we got coming up with Drake University and some of their students. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on, coming up in March for Women's History Month, we are having an influential women's panel in here. So some of you may have remembered when we did the ageism panel in here. We invited folks from the outside, we invited residents to come in and have a discussion with various residents for different locations. Kind of sticking with that same thing, we're gonna do that for Women's History Month, and we have residents, team members, community members. They're going to be a part of this panel, and we'll have some questions to get discussion started. But that is coming up, I believe, in the first week of March. So a lot of things coming up, so keep an eye on your calendars. Should be a lot of fun coming up. February is going to be packed, which I know Wiki's going to talk more about that here shortly. Any questions for me before I pass the baton to Amy? Yes, Randy. Randy's asking if we have found a new artist from Drake to come in and sing, and not yet. The invitation's always open, so when they find somebody, they send them to me. So for those that missed it last time, we had Leah as our last Drake student that lived here on campus and did performances with us. That is a partnership we're going to keep doing with Drake. We just don't have that student right now. So good question, Randy. Any other questions for me? All right, that was easy. All right, I'll pass it on to Amy. You want to go next? Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, well, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Amy Bassett. I'm the sales director here. I wanted to start with announcing a couple new residents that have moved in recently. So first I'll start with Trish Chriselle. So any of you that have not met Trish, please help welcome her to Wesleyan-Graham. We're very happy you're here. Also Bob and Diane Dean. I don't think I see them here right now, but also welcome them as well. Great addition to our community, so we're really excited that you're here. Also, available apartments throughout our community. We don't have a lot, I'm sure most of you know, but in the Grand, we only have one-bedroom unit. So that's all I have. So if you know of anybody that's looking for a one-bedroom unit, let me know. Also, in the Bolton, we have 3 units that are open. We have 301, 304, and Bolton 3. And I'm sure most of you are aware, at least definitely the Bolton residents in here, we've done lots of updates in that building. So we're looking forward to having an open house maybe in the spring in that building to kind of show that off. And then we also have a 1-bedroom independent living only unit in Central. Also assisted living, we just have 2 1-bedroom units, that's it. So lots of interest in moving to Wesleyan-Graham for a lot of folks. We've been building our Early Advantage program, which some of you may be familiar with, which is similar to a wait list, but different. So for those of you that may have some friends that are kind of on the fence on making a decision, really the time is now. I think right now I'd say we're probably out about a year and a half for people that are wanting anything larger than a 1 bedroom. So we've just had a couple sign up even last week for early advantage. I also have to just say the murder mystery dinner I am super excited for. Who all in here has been to a murder mystery dinner? Okay. All right. So those of you spread the word on how fun it is, because honestly, when we had that, it was not this past December, but the December before. I have to say it was one of the most fun evenings I've had in a really long time, just laughing. You're not worrying about anything else but just having fun. So I encourage you guys to definitely participate. Yeah. Okay, exactly. You know what? Chris has got a really good point there. So if this gives me an opportunity to ask if anybody's interested in being engaged in this, okay, heavily, let me know. If you like to act, anybody? Just get a hold of Amy because I've got to put some stuff together. But it is so much fun. So I look forward to seeing you all there at that event. The fun thing is we'll have some prospects there too. So last time we didn't open it up to residents, and I'm so excited that we are doing that. So we'll have a good time. Let's see. Any questions for me? No? You guys are being easy on me. Thank you. All right. Oh, they're saving it for Damon. Okay. All right. Who's up next? Wiki? All right. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that murder mystery thing sounds so much fun. So we're hoping team members can be part of that too. Anyway, we do have a very busy month coming up, and I have a couple of announcements. Tomorrow, book club with Arlene has been canceled for the month due to a celebration of life service for Reverend Bob Crossgray. It will be here in the auditorium. I did get flyers up earlier on in the weekend. There'll be a visitation from 1:30 to 2. The service will be at 2, and then there'll be a short reception following the service in here. It's all in the auditorium. Um, February is Heart Health Month, among other things. And so we will be hosting a blood drive through the American Red Cross right down the street on Friday, February the 27th from 10 to 2. Be right here in the auditorium. I will ask you to do sign-ups just so we don't have everybody arriving at once. And they will take your blood, first of all, to see if you can give blood. And then second of all, of course, they will take it if they can. There'll be two kinds. There'll be plasma or plasma and whole blood. Somebody asked me about that. And the only thing I will tell you ahead, if you are on a blood thinner, you're not going to be eligible. So I know that does take quite a few of our residents out of the mix. But if you have any questions, call me. I've got a volume of information about this thick, which I haven't finished reading. But give me a call if you want to be signed up. And again, the time span is from 10 to 2 in this room. Also, February is Black History Month. And I don't know if you came last year when Paxton Williams was here. He was absolutely amazing. Thank you, Jackie Thompson, for getting him to us. And he will be back this year. I'm so excited because he's impersonating the slave poet Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Now, I had to do a little bit of research on that, but very famous Black poet. So, and he will stay in character all evening. So it will be here towards the end of the month, and it'll be at 6:30 in the evening. We have several religious offerings because also we will have Ash Wednesday this month. On February 18th, we'll have a 1:30 Mass in here with Father John Ludwig. And then we will also have a 4 o'clock communion, which is open to all to attend with our own Jim Luke. So just wanted to make sure you come to both or one of these services on that day, but I had them both this month on Ash Wednesday. Um, February 19th, we're doing another, or we are, I shouldn't say me, but we're going to have another underground tour. And I really thank our Ellie for doing this, as well as I think it's going to be with Bruce, right? Is it Bruce? Bruce going to lead it. The two of them will take you through our underground shopping center, as I'm calling it. And so you'll get to see Browse and Buy, you'll get to see the auction room, and then you'll end up in Gather and Gab. So we want you to do that. That'll be at 1:30 on February 19th. So, and I thank them for doing that before, but it gives people an idea of where we are located, because sometimes that can be a bit confusing, as you all know. For special music this month, Judith Henry and Muriel Pemble will be back. Yay. They'll be doing piano and vocals for us. And they don't know this, but I may make them to the birthday party as well, because I know we're going to get a huge crowd here. But anyway, that will be Monday the 9th at 2 o'clock. So do not miss that, February the 9th. The Jazzers Dixieland Band will be back with their vocalist, Supreme, as I call him. Eric Sharp will be back singing for you, and that's February 17th at 6:30 in here. There are lots of other things going on, so just kind of check your calendars. I don't want to go through it all. So do you have any questions for me? Excellent. Okay. Is it Damon's up? Okay, Damon, thank you.
Okay, we'll start with the update on the Bolton refresh. Was checking in today on the status of everything over there, and it sounds like the carpet will be done today. They're finishing the painting over there, so that should be done, they're estimating tomorrow. And working on the lights, which should be done in a few days, otherwise this week. So by the end of this week, should be pretty close to done over there. There's going to be some furniture arriving in February, so remember that over there. That's going to take a couple weeks yet to happen for that refresh, but it's moving right along, and I believe third floor is pretty much done. If you want to take a look at that and you're curious. So, but people have seen it, including me, are pretty excited about it. So nice to get that project finally done, or get close to done. The elevator, a number of you are asking on that. We still do not have a start date for that one. We were hoping it'd be started by now, but just taking a little bit longer to get some of the equipment than originally hoped. So we're pushing on that as hard as we can, because really we had hoped to have a really good start into that by now, but I'll keep you updated. Once the elevator project is a go, we will do what we did when the elevator broke down. We will have a meeting over at the Bolton with the residents and myself and some other key people who are going to have a plan to make sure everybody's safe during that interim period where the elevator is down and we're getting our new one. So we'll do that just like last time, and then we'll talk about our safety plan, how we plan to keep everybody safe like last time, and then take any questions you may have and maybe modify our safety approach with some of your concerns that you lift up to us that are maybe new. So watch for that communication coming as soon as we have a start date for the elevators. Plant operations, as I said earlier, I'm excited. Suddenly we've got some really promising applicants. Had one of them in this morning, had a really good screening conversation with him. I've got 4 more coming up between now and the end of next week. Looking really good on paper, so really excited to interview these people. Some really interesting backgrounds, large scope. A lot of it looks like it translates well to what we're looking for here in our leader of plant operations. So cross your fingers. We're excited that we've got some good leads. The windows for the Grand, the new windows, I want to thank everybody. I think about everybody filled out that form about the windows, both the grade of the window and if you had a There were a couple issues brought up, whistling windows, stuff like that, especially. I don't know how they're supposed to perform during 67-mile-an-hour gusts. That's what we had last week. That day, I went up to several apartments, and one was whistling, and I could feel the air coming through, so I think that window might need a little work. Some of the windows had a real subtle rattle to them, for lack of a better word, but the wind was blowing so awfully hard. So, but either way, we'll get that submitted to TMJ, and they'll be out here to look at those and assess them and educate us on what needs to be touched up, which we knew we'd have some things, and what's normal window behavior considering the elements. But appreciate everybody. My stack is nice and big, and we really appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. Um, Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. Like Sam said, to our satisfaction survey action plan meeting last week. Had a lot of fun with that. Was productive. If you were interested in getting a copy of the minutes, they're in my office. Just stop by and we'll get those to you. Here, probably by about tomorrow or the next day, we will have the sign-up sheet for the lunch and dinner with Sam events in February. And if you weren't at the meeting, again, what we're going to be doing is once a month doing a dinner with residents in Vita, and then once a month doing a lunch with residents in Sante. That's how we're going to start anyway. So we'll have 2 gatherings a month, and we're going to have some fun, talk about, a bunch of fun stuff, but we're also going to talk about opportunities for improvement, especially, around the food. Obviously, that's the most scrutinized thing. And also anything else you want to discuss. How many of you were here? Oh, it's probably been 5, 6 years ago. It stopped when COVID hit. That remember the lunches with Damon? Yeah, there's a handful of Rick going up. But anyway, we used to gather monthly, twice a month. Marie Maliff, rest her soul, if you remember her, used to coordinate those. And then she and I would eat with 6 or 7 residents in the old dining room we had over here. And those were a lot of fun. But really, the value was the building the connections with each other, and then the feedback. Getting the new residents there so they could meet people, get their feedback, and then of course our tenured residents. So that's what Sam and I are looking to kind of reboot, and we'll adjust on the fly. And then the feedback we get from that, I will share with the resident council as we meet monthly. So I think that's going to be a valuable interaction and tool for us to target improvements on our operating plan for this year. So please sign up at least once this year and dine with us. Just want to remind everybody, new year, so a new time to think about our Good Samaritan promise, which is one of the things I'm most proud of with working with Wesley Life. Just in case you don't know, the Good Samaritan promise is no resident will ever be asked to move out of a Wesley Life community if they exhaust their funds due to no fault of their own. And we have a good handful of residents here who are living here because of the Good Samaritan Fund. And a lot of times it's, the most common thing we hear is, people that live to be 96, 98, 100, they never imagined they'd live that long. They'd saved really, really well for a 20, 25, even one person, a 30-year retirement. They outlived it. That's a common reason why people exhaust their funds, and the Good Sam promise just serves such a wonderful purpose. So new year, so we'll be thinking of new things to do to help raise money for that. And we'll see Matthew and Sophia from philanthropy out here, I'm sure. But just planting that seed, and want to have another good year doing our part to protect that promise for both current and future residents, because it's a wonderful thing. Also, I will put together some minutes. I had mentioned earlier, Allison Pendroy is our new CEO. I want to put together some minutes. I'll put them in my office on my round table to talk a little bit more about her background. I couldn't do it justice in the 1 or 2 minutes I talked about it at the beginning, but she's got obviously quite an extensive background that'll serve her well in this new role, and I'll share a little bit more of that detail with you so you can know a little more about our new CEO before she comes out with Rob to meet everybody. That'll be on my round table. And also, again, the minutes from the satisfaction meeting those are on the round table too. Quite a few people came in and got them, but there's still a pretty good, about half the stack left in there. So if you're interested, just it's labeled right on the front page what Sam and I are doing there. The last thing I wanted to talk about today was the switching over to Curana Healthcare. Does everybody remember about a month ago, I put a letter out that announced that we were switching from our current medical director, which was Dr. Garner, to Curana Healthcare, which we're switching to as a company, company-wide at all 10 of our communities. I just wanted to bring it up again today, just to stress that this was a decision for alignment and quality purposes company-wide. And this is becoming more and more common across the industry, where people are going with a single company to manage this piece. Because you have to remember, we're very heavily regulated. We have so many protocols to follow, and having one company standardized and aligned will help with communication and just all these many different things. So not surprised about the change. But I just want to stress that Dr. Garner left a great legacy here in her over a decade at West Young Grand. She did a heck of a job. And I don't want us to forget either Dr. J, as I called him, but Jay Rosenberger. Everybody remember him? Unfortunately, we lost him here. What's it been, a year now, guys? Something like that. Too soon. But we lost him, and and in my memories, he'll be right alongside her. I mean, those two did a wonderful job and were true servant doctors for us. They were there at every call. And then this want to say one last time, this was in no way an indictment on their work. In no way. They were fabulous. They did everything we asked, and their legacies here are really, really strong. Just a few people have asked about that. So, and that didn't sit well with me. Not that they asked the question, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows without a doubt that Dr. Garner and Dr. J left with nothing but an excellent reputation and legacy here. So we'll always be grateful for them. The good news, hearing good things about Dr. Way and the group serving us now. So as we move forward, if there's ever any issues with that, we will address them accordingly, since Curana is new. If you hadn't heard, we did have this company in a couple of our buildings already, and the EDs and their teams were really happy with them. And these EDs and their teams know what they're doing really well, and they assure us we'll be very happy with Curana. So that's we're all sad to see Dr. Garner go, but let's give Curana a chance and welcome Dr. Way. Give Dr. Way the welcome that we give everybody else at West Young Grand. So that's it on that. With that said, any questions for me? Yeah, see, I don't get the free pass like you guys all do. Hi, Lynn, what is it? Yep, she's asking what kind of progress is being made on replacing MediaCom, and that she had heard that they are replacing MediaCom on another campus. All I can tell you, standing up here right now, is that is a fluid situation, and probably by next month's meeting, I'll have a lot more to share about that. So it's being taken very seriously. The people that should be involved are involved. Our team is doing everything we're supposed to do to stay on top of it, report what we need to report, and to try to get this, to do everything we can do to make this right. So again, I appreciate everybody's patience last 2+ years. This has not been fun. I know that has been fun for my team either, but we are fighting alongside our teammates up at our network support center, our IT VP, my vice president, Janet, that I report to. We're all rowing in the same boat to get this thing, and we're rowing hard to get it fixed. So I'd say more if I could, but it's one of those things, you just gotta trust me for a little bit, and we'll get there. Thank you. You're welcome. Anything else? Oh man, I'm gonna take that. 3 going once, going twice. Have a great month.